Ladies and gentlemen, EastEnders fan. Though Vinny tried his hardest to be the one to tell his mum that he and Penny were expecting a baby, Jack Branning, Scott Massillon, caused a whole ruckus, accidentally spilled the tea to Suki and wife Eve, Heather Peace, when he invited them to a family dinner to discuss their grandchild. The grandchild that Suki had no knowledge of. When Penny later confirmed what Jack said, Suki's long-lost ice-cold glare returned, and when Vinny found him later, the two ended up trading barbs. Though Vinny exclaimed that he's not a child, Suki corrected him. He's her child, though when she began to spew vitriol about his baby potentially ending up in the foster system should he and Penny split, Vinny was wounded. Imploring her to simply be happy for him, Suki was unable to get out of her own way, causing a hurt Vinny to retreat. Next week sees Vinny again attempt to right things with Suki, though she cruelly rebuffs him, causing Eve to step in and attempt to coerce Suki into softening toward her son and to put their differences aside. It seems that Eve's encouragement works, as when Jack invites them both to a dinner with Vinny, Penny and Denise Fox, Diane Parrish, she accepts. At the Brannings, pigs begin to circle in the sky and hell itself is swallowed with ice, as Suki actually drops her attitude and opens herself up, an inexplicable bond seemingly forming between herself and Penny. The budding relationship is scuppered soon after, though. Despite Penny's protestations that Vinny needn't try to impress her with expensive gifts and gestures, he does just that, and puts a down payment on a shop in Turpin Road for her. While Penny initially declines, encouragement from Gina Knight, Francesca Henry, and Harry Mitchell, Elijah Holloway, sees her accept Vinny's kind offer. Someone who's less than impressed with Vinny's generous offer, though, is Suki. Marching round to Penny's, an incensed Suki echoes her initial barbs at Penny. She's nothing more than a gold digger who's exploiting her son for cash. As Suki and Penny face off once more, neither willing to back down, will Vinny be torn apart by his mum and his new love? In the restless heart of EastEnders, where secrets cling to the air like the lingering smell of rain on concrete, Suki Panesar was not a woman known for softness. She was steel. Calculated. Untouchable. Or so everyone believed. But even steel can bend under the right pressure. It began quietly, almost invisibly, on an ordinary gray morning in Walford. The market buzzed with its usual chaos, voices clashing, coins clinking, lives intersecting in fleeting moments. Suki stood behind the Minute Mart counter, her sharp eyes scanning everything, missing nothing. That's when she noticed her. A stranger. Or at least, someone who didn't quite belong. The woman lingered too long by the shelves, fingers brushing over items without picking anything up. There was a hesitation in her movements, a fragility Suki recognized instantly but refused to acknowledge. "Buy something or leave," Suki said coldly, not looking up. A pause. Then softly, "I don't have enough." Suki finally met her gaze. And something shifted. Her name was Amara. She had arrived in Walford with nothing but a worn suitcase and a story she wasn't ready to tell. There was a quiet resilience about her, the kind Suki rarely respected, but somehow this was different. Against her own instincts, Suki handed her a bag. "No charge," she muttered. Amara blinked. "Why?" Suki didn't answer. Because she didn't know. Days turned into weeks, and something unexpected took root. Amara began stopping by the shop daily, not always to buy, sometimes just to talk. And somehow, Suki allowed it. Their conversations were never sentimental. No grand confessions, no dramatic tears. Just fragments. A comment about the weather. A passing remark about loneliness. A shared silence that didn't feel empty. It unsettled Suki. She had built her life on control, on distance. Emotions were liabilities, attachments dangerous. Yet here she was, offering tea, listening, caring. "You're not what people say you are," Amara said one evening. Suki's expression hardened. "And what do they say?" "That you're cruel." Suki smirked faintly. "They're not wrong." Amara shook her head. "No. They just don't see everything." For a moment, just a moment, Suki felt exposed. But Walford has a way of turning warmth into suspicion. And peace never lasts. It started as whispers. A missing envelope. Cash that had been set aside, now gone. At first, it was dismissed. A mistake, a misplacement. until it happened again. And again. Eyes began to wander. Voices lowered when Suki entered the room. The accusation came like a slap. "You've been stealing." Suki didn't react immediately. She